So one of my subscribers asked me if you can resize or remove columns, these columns here in Google Contacts. And unfortunately, you're quite restricted with your formatting in Contacts, but I'm going to show you what you can do within Contacts, as well as sharing how to export them into Google Sheets so that you can completely control how they're displayed and formatted. So one of the first things that you can do is choose whether the names are sorted alphabetically by first name or by last name. To do that, simply click on the gear icon in the top right corner here, then click on More Settings. And you'll see options to set your default phone number country code here, and you can change the name sorting option here. And once you're done, just click on Save, and it will automatically sort everything. Next, you can change what you see by going into your List Settings menu, which you get to by clicking the three dots here over in the top right of the contacts list. And you'll see two options. The first option is Display Density. So if you click on there, by default, it's automatically set to Comfortable, which gives you a bit of spacing and shows the profile images. But if you want to see more contacts at once, then you can switch it to Compact. This removes the profile icons, so you just have the checkboxes next to the names, and it kind of tightens everything up so all the rows are a bit closer together. So if I just show you what that looks like, I'll click on Done, and you can see the rows are squished up together a little bit more, and like I said, it removes the pictures and you have the checkboxes. You can switch back to whichever view you like at any time by again clicking on the three dots, go to Display Density and choose the one that you prefer. So going back to the three dots, the second option that you have is Change Column Order. So when you click on this, you'll see a list of the fields that you can display. Now by default, the name field here is always at the top, which kind of makes sense. But you can drag the rest of these fields to whichever position you want. So for example, you could move labels up to be the second column. You can also swap any labels for one of the other fields available to you by clicking on the drop down arrow next to the field that you want to swap and bring in a different field. And there's also a handy reset button here if you want them to go back to how they were by default. Once you're happy, click on Done, and your contacts will instantly update to match your preferences. So you can see that the labels column here has moved to be the second column in the contacts. Now these built-in options are great for a quick tidy up, but what if you want full control over your columns, your widths, your colors, or even create custom reports? Well, for that, you'll want to move your contacts into Google Sheets. So first you need to click on the export icon, which is up here in the top right of your contacts. When you hover over it, it'll say export. Click on there, and you can choose whether you want to export all of your contacts or just ones in a specific label. So I'm going to go with all three in my contacts. And then you choose Export as Google CSV and click on Export. This will download it as a CSV file to wherever your downloads are normally saved. So once they're downloaded, go into your Google Drive, and you now need to upload the CSV file that you've just downloaded. So find it in your Downloads folder and just click and drag it into your Google Drive, and it will start to upload. So you can see this is now uploaded here, and you now need to open it in Google Sheets. So right click on the file name, go to Open With, and then choose Google Sheets. And once you're in Google Sheets, you can tweak the layout however you like. But before you start doing anything to it, I'd recommend making a copy of the sheet so that you're not changing any of the original data. Now there are two ways you can do this. The first way is simply by duplicating the sheet. So to do that, we click on this little arrow next to the sheet name in the bottom here. Click on there and go to Duplicate. This creates a brand new copy of the sheet in the same file, and it's basically a static copy of your data. What I would then do is rename this original sheet here by double clicking on the name and overwriting what it is there. I would call it something like Original. Press Return, and you can see this is now renamed. I would also maybe colour it a different colour as well. So to do that, click on the drop down arrow, go to change colour, and I'd give it a bright colour like red. And we've got the copy of the contacts here. I would probably rename this as well. So double click on the name and I would just call it copy, just a little bit shorter, that's all. So this means you're formatting the copy rather than the original data. And you can now format this data as a table. So click anywhere within the data set, click on Format, and then go to Convert to Table. And job done. It's now a table. So you can now go through the different column headings and change the column types to dates, drop downs, text, numbers, whatever is relevant for the data. You can also go through and hide any columns that you don't need to see. So to hide, I've just literally highlighted each column, right clicked on one of the columns and then just choose hide columns. And again, I'm going to highlight these two columns, right click and hide, and the photo column as well, we'll just hide that. So converting it into a table is ideal if you want a cleaner overview or you need to share it with somebody. Now, if you've not used the tables feature before in Google Sheets, then I've included a link in the description to my beginner's guide video, which you might find useful. But one thing to remember is that because this sheet is actually static, it won't automatically update if you make any changes to this original data here. If you want your formatted version to update automatically whenever the original sheet changes, then you would need to use the ImportRange formula. So to do this, we need to insert a brand new sheet. So click on this plus symbol down here in the bottom left corner, and that will automatically insert a new sheet. Now I'm just going to quickly rename this. It's automatically saying sheet 1, so I'm going to double click on the name and I'm going to call this ImportRange because that's what the formula is. So the first thing you need to do is copy the column headings from the original data, and I'll explain the reason why a little bit later on. So go back into the original data, highlight that first column that has all the column headings, Control and C to copy, go to the ImportRange sheet tab here, and I'm going to highlight row 1 and I'm going to say Control and V to paste. So this is basically copied over the headings, the column headings. And now we can insert our formula into cell A2. So it's the cell directly beneath the very first column heading. And you want to start typing in the following formula: equals import range. Google Sheets is automatically suggesting a formula for me. So I'm going to say it is this import range one, and it's telling me to press tab if to accept it. So I'm going to use the tab key, and it's accepted that formula. We now need to add in the URL of where the original data is located. So we click back into the original sheet. We're still within the formula here, but we're clicking back into the original sheet here. We're going up to the URL in the browser, clicking once to select it, click again so that we get the HTTPS at the beginning, and we're going to highlight everything in this bar up to the very last / before it says edit. So once all of this is highlighted here, I'm going to do Control and C to copy. I'm going to go back to the import range, and you can see I'm still within this formula. Now before we paste it, we need to add in quotation marks. So everything we put in this formula needs to have a quotation mark wrapped around it. So I'm going to do a quotation mark, then I'm going to do Control and V to paste in the URL we've just copied, and then another quotation mark. We now need to insert a comma to move on to the next section of this formula, which is highlighted here, range string. So the range string is the range of cells that you want to pull the data from. So again, we click back into the original sheet, and we want to take the data from cell A2. Now I can't physically click on a cell A2 because my formula is over the top of it, but I can click on cell A3. So if I click on A3, you can see this is the formula bar here, and you can see it's taken the original, which is the name of the sheet, cell A3, and I want to go to column S. So I'm going to do :S. So that's basically selecting all the data from cell A3, everything up to column S, which is the very final column of where my data is collected here. Now, as I said, I want it to go from cell A2, not A3. So where we go A3 here, we can click into this and choose 2 instead. And again, we need to put this into quotation marks. So I'm going to go right back to the beginning where it says original here, put in quotation marks, and again, after the S, I'm putting in a quotation mark, and then we close bracket because the formulas are included within brackets, and then press return. And you can see it's taken me back to the import range sheet tab here, and you can see the data has now been copied over directly from the original tab. If we click in cell A2, you can see the formula is here. Now the first time you do this, it may come back with an error. If you click on the error cell, it could just be that you need to allow access because it's the first time that you've used ImportRange. If so, just follow the prompts and it will clear it. And we can now go in and format this as a table if we want to. Again, click anywhere within the data set, go to Format and Convert to Table. And you can see everything is now in this table format. Now the good thing about using this method is that anytime you edit the original data or add more names to it, everything automatically updates in this sheet. So if we go back to the original sheet and we add in a few more names, When we go back into the import range, you can see that these names are now added. And all we need to do is go to the end of the table here, click on the final cell within the table, and we can drag this down to include those two names that we've just added here. So getting back to why we copied over the headings first, when you use import range, Google Sheets brings everything from the range that you tell it to, including the original Sheets headings. So if you start your formula in the first row, Sheets will treat those imported headings as just more data. That means that you can't set your own headings or format the range as a proper table like we've done here. By adding your own headings separately in row 1 and starting the formula in row 2, it means you keep control over exactly what your column names say. So it's making sure the headings are real headers and not part of the imported data. You can decide what it says and how it looks. So let me know which method you'll use if you export your contacts to Google Sheets, or if you're happy enough with the layout and view already inside Google Contacts. If you found this helpful, you might like this playlist of other quick tip videos all about Google Contacts. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.